$25 anime Amazon figure challenge part 2, round 1. This is Nakama Collectibles choices. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Droobz Vids and another video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Nakama Collectibles' $25 choice for the Amazon anime figure challenge. So this is part 2. 3 parts for this series of it right now. So we had Dark Sage already go in the first video, and I'll leave a little thing up here for you guys if you want to check that out. If you haven't yet, I highly recommend it because we will be voting 2 people through to the second round. So once again, this is part 2 for round 1, the $25 bracket. Over at Nakama Collectibles, there'll be a link down in the description below, but they are huge Fate collectors. So just Fate in general, they enjoy Fate and all the figures and whatnot, and they also get a bunch of other anime figures, so definitely check them out, and I'll leave a link in the description below like I said. So these are the choices that Nakama Collectibles made for the $25 round. If you guys missed the explanation as to what the Amazon anime figure challenge is, I'll leave a little thing up here for it so you guys can check that out if you haven't yet. Be sure to, because we will be voting at the end of the 3 parts. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into the choices here. So this first figure here is Chino from Is the Order a Rabbit, and this is a System Service branded figure here. Pretty cute looking figure. It's $29.98, so yeah, not bad. Next up here we have a Sega figure of Chica Takami from Love Live Sunshine. Don't know too much about this character, but this is a Sega Super Premium figure. Looks pretty good. I enjoy Sega figures. I think they do a really good job with their prize figures, so definitely not a bad deal for $19.99. You do have to pay $4.17 for shipping, but that's still right around 25 bucks, so not a bad deal on a Sega figure. Now for the third one here, we have a Taito figure, and this is from ReZero. This is Rem, and this is her Sakura version, so you get that nice little base there. Looks like a Sakura flower, and she has the nice colored clothes on, the Sakura color clothes. Definitely a pretty nice looking figure. I mean, if Rem actually existed, but you know, you just gotta ask Subaru about that. And this figure costs $29.58. Not a bad deal. And then we also have another Taito figure, and this is of Hatsune Miku, and this is her 3rd season spring version, which I actually quite like because I would like to put together the 4 seasons of Hatsune Miku. And they also have like a Halloween version and a Christmas version, which I wouldn't mind having either. But this one is an even $30. It's actually on sale from $34.23. So save yourself 12% on that. I think it's a pretty good looking figure. And last but not least here, definitely not least, we have a Banpresto, and this is of Sinon from Sword Art Online, and this is her dressed up as a maid there. This is an EXQ figure, so this is $26.98, and Banpresto has like a few different lines of figures, and EXQ is one of them, and this one actually looks really good. And for $26.98, can't really go wrong here because Sinon figures are actually quite expensive. You know, they have come out with some cheaper ones recently, but the ones that I really do like are fairly expensive. So what do we end up going with here? Well, I'll show you in just a second. Be sure to remember what those picks were, write them down, screenshot them if you have to, so when it's time to vote, you know exactly who picked what, and you know who you're going to vote for. Yeah, let's get into the figure I ultimately purchased, and I'm going to tell you why I picked it and why I didn't pick the others. And we got a nice big Amazon box here with the figure. Seems kind of large for, I mean, really any of these figures in this category here. So, pretty decent sized box. I mean, Amazon's not really known for actually, you know, sending the appropriate size box most of the time. I think, you know, look at that, the tape kind of just fell apart there. So it happens with, you know, Amazon stuff. The tape's not that great. The boxes are oddly shaped and sized, but, you know, you tend to get your stuff in a really quick time, especially if you have Prime. 2 days, can't really beat it. And this vendor actually put a few bubble packets inside of here, so that's nice to see. And the figure I ended up picking was the EXQ figure. That's right, we picked the Banpresto again. So Banpresto is actually 2 for 2 in this series so far, but this figure right here looks pretty dope. If you can see there on the box, looks pretty cool. And she actually doesn't come with a base, so she would just sit normally, a lot like my Ichibansho version of Priestess from Goblin Slayer. Before I open this up, let me tell you why I didn't pick the other figures. So is the Order a Rabbit figure. I don't know enough about that anime or manga, so that for me was just a pass in itself. I generally get figures of characters that I know and like, so yeah, that one was out. Same with the Love Live Sunshine figure. Don't really know much about Love Live Sunshine. I know there's a huge fan base and a ton of figures from it, but yeah, I just don't know anything about this particular character, so that was a pass for me. And this Rem figure, I actually quite like this one. I like the base, I like the clothing, the outfit, and the colors look really nice, but I do think there are some better ReZero figures out there. I mean, they're going to be a lot pricier, but I still think there are some better figures, especially of Rem and Ram. So they usually have like a version of Rem and a version of Ram, and you know, they kind of go together. So if I ended up getting this one, I would have to get the Ram as well. So theoretically, yeah, it's $30 for the one figure, but it'd be $60 to have the set. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. And as far as the Hatsune Miku goes, I actually do like this version of her, the spring version. However, there is another spring version of Hatsune Miku that I would prefer over this one. So I'm going to be picking that one up at a later date. And Amazon actually has it, so I'll be picking that up later on. So that's why I passed on that one. Which left us with the Banpresto of Sinon here. And this is actually Memory Defrag, which is the phone game of Sword Art Online. And it's a pretty good game. They do a ton of different kind of outfits and stuff in that game for the characters. And I never had the made outfit of her, so I mean, I haven't played the game in quite a while, so I probably missed out on it. But, you know, it's kind of, I don't know, for some reason some of them games that you play on the phone end up being kind of like really grindy. So you just do like a ton of quests and there's not really much to show for it at the end. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this figure because I think it is pretty cool looking and the best out of the 5 in my opinion. You know, it's a fairly unique piece as well because generally with figures like this, you get a little base with it, and this one doesn't have a base, and it kind of reminds me of something a little bit more premium. And I know what you're thinking, you know, premium figures have like them really outlandish bases, like that have a whole lot of detail and a lot of crazy things going on with it. However, I have noticed that a lot of really higher end figures, like scale figures and stuff, really just have a fairly plain base. And some of them that have certain poses, like if you look at the Free and Bunny Girls, the B-style stuff, they don't even have bases. So, well, I shouldn't say that. I guess in certain poses, they don't have bases. And a lot of them, like sitting down or on their knees or something like that, they won't have a base. And that's kind of what this reminds me of. I mean, not the B style, but just a higher end figure without a base because she's sitting in a particular way. Here's the figure here. This looks pretty good for the price we paid. Definitely not a bad figure there. Close up of the face sculpt. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Definitely like it, and the colors look great, look spot on, and I really like her facial expression, so she's kind of like, what? That makes sense because this is not a typical outfit that you see her in, and yeah, I actually quite enjoy this figure, and the paint all looks pretty good. I mean, this little maid dress here could be a little bit better, but not a big deal, especially at this $25 price range. We paid $26.98 for it. And I mean, it looks really solid. It is a very solid looking figure. And I will show you here the little bit of the skirt that I'm talking about. If you could see right there, that paint is kind of not perfect. But I mean, if you just have her on the shelf facing this way with her face out, you're not really going to notice it because this side's a lot more ruffled down as far as the black showing goes. So you're not going to see that very many imperfections. But yeah, definitely not a bad job there from Banpresto. Definitely enjoy this figure, and yeah, price can't beat it. Now this is actually the first made figure I've picked up of a character, so I don't know, maybe I'll start a made figure shelf. I kind of seen a few that I really do enjoy, and they actually have some maid and bunny style version figures as well, which I think are really cool. So yeah, something I'll be keeping an eye on. So let me know down in the comments below, did you think I picked the best one out of the 5? Which one do you think I should have picked if that one wasn't your favorite? And that was Nakama Collectibles' choices of the $25 round. Keep it in mind for when it's time to vote. And yeah guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want some more content, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video.